I peered over, unhooked my seatbelt, peered over, and there was a big fire started on down there. I could hear people screaming, but I'm sorry, that's their deal. I'm just kept on going. That was one way. Recently I got shot at when I was with a retired FBI agent. We were going to go to a Patriot talk show down near Salem, Oregon. And I got shot here, here, here. It's what's called the CIA cocktail. I don't have normal ribs after Dulce, New Mexico fiasco, where my ribs are burnt, cauterized, my fingers are burnt off of me, etc. I have a plastic plate in here, a nylon plate that has bumps on it, looks like ribs and everything. So those bullets just kind of lodged in this thick, 5/8" thick plastic, movable plastic thing on the inside, and that was dug out. And once again, here I am recuperating from another problem, and all because I'm trying to bring the American public. And I love my country more than my life, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this ridiculous group of things by coming clean, but I feel I have to because the American public has not only been lied to, but when I was asked to, by the intelligence community within the Air Force to continue my operations in black budget work, stealthy work, what would I think if they said that I would be betraying the American public? I told them to go fly it, go stuff it or whatever. I says I won't be a party to that. And I walked out of the room, and somebody tried to tell me to come back, and I says, out of my face, fella, you're on the ground. He would get out of my face and went on the ground. And I walked away, and then on I made a decision. I'll say bye. That's why I'm here talking. I also want to get a little political sided here, although I don't like to. Right now we have an out-of-touch, runaway federal government structure that really doesn't care about the way you and I feel. They manipulate evidences of crimes as several instances, both in Waco and other. The Waco hearings should have been a wake-up call to most who were watching, even if they'd only watched a piece of it. It's once again proves the federal government structure is just running away with everybody's freedom, and they run roughshod over. They've actually become kings and queens over us. Our forefathers told us exactly what would happen if we took a certain stand, if we made laws to legislate God out of our system, we would have a similar problem. If we made laws or had too many people making laws within our government structure, we would have a similar problem that we're facing today. We're facing a form of tyranny and totalitarianism. Incidentally, you might want to throw a few statistics by you, and it's quite provable in a number of talks given recently, both by the United Nations and others. The United Nations is entrenched in our country. They're training our troops. Our troops are being trained by the United Nations in the United States, and I think that's kind of an oddball system. Russian troops are being trained on basically Montana and North Dakota and the northern tier states, Washington, upstate Washington, etc. There's a stockpiling of Russian tanks and hardware by the U.S. Army. For what purpose? Also, we have purchased at the cost of some $38 billion all the Russian nerve gas. Nerve gas is their nerve gas is extremely long shelf life. We're destroying our own nerve gas, which has a relatively short shelf life of 15 years, but the Russian variety is extremely deadly. And also, I'll tell you something else about that. The Russian nerve gas is composed primarily of glandular secretions And they even mentioned that as they were downing flying saucers within their own country, they found a way of making chemical weapons from some of the alien cadavers and that kind of thing like that. So from some of the glandular excretion. So once again, biological weapons against the people of the United States. There have been other talks given by other people alluring to this, including Ted Gunderson, who's an ex-FBI agent, who's got tired of the federal government tromping on him, and another ex-astronaut by the name of James Groden, not the Groden of Alternative 3 book fame, but this is another Groden. A number of key government people have started coming out slowly, but unfortunately it's at a snail's pace. I'm the only one that ever worked and had a level 3 security clearance that came out from the Cold, so to speak, and completely laid everything open to the American public, or any public. Something like this was tried in Britain and in France, but the person got jailed. Incidentally, I can't be charged with espionage theoretically because, according to our, including one person who said, "Oh, this place doesn't exist." Well, it's on an aerial map, kind of different. If it doesn't exist, then I'm just full of you know what, hype and hooey, so to speak, and I'm just crazy or something like that, and so be it. If it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist. How can I be charged with a crime on something that doesn't exist? Another thing is that to be guilty of espionage, you have to sell for dollars or cents or some form of monetary gain the information that you impart. I'm not doing that in any way, shape, or form. The talk, the lecture, isn't counted. It's actual exchange of money by another individual for the information, for the proscribed information. Well, I'm going to be getting out a few alien artifacts here. I'll let you take a look, and you're welcome to kind of stretch your legs a little bit and see. Clear off some of these things here so you can see them. Talking about, if you look at very carefully, and I'll leave my hand lens out for you to take a peek. By the way, when you use this hand lens, you want to get right up on the object like this. You'll see a line going straight through with the wood layers, the cambium coming this way as whatever went through it, burnt through it. It's very interesting. And there's another out-of-place artifact, or blue part, so to speak. This is another fossil. This is at one time a cave mushroom, a fossil plant. Something cut it absolutely perfectly, like a laser, cut right through the thing, and part of it slid off, and it later got perfectly petrified, similarly to the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bomb test with a similar signature. And here's this petrified, instantly petrified garlic plant. Incidentally, this is 65 to 100 million years old. This is 105 to 130 million years old. And this is roughly 30 million years old. It has the exact chemical makeup and structure of quartz crystals formed on its surface and on the internal structure of the plant itself, which the top part, of course, the sprout is all broken off. This is the sprout underneath it. And the quartz crystals are identical to material found at Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the Three Tropics bomb. Now here's a bottle of the RAM coating of the blackjacks. Of course, when they come in after their mission, they're glowing red hot, and they drip this stuff, particular material, off on this in-coat tarmac. This isn't tar, it's a special cement, and it just drips. And maybe some of these aircraft, you might see drip spots like here and here and there and different places. So this is the material, it's like lava that drops off of it. It also contains certain alien elements, or alien reproduced elements. Here's a piece of fossil coral from Jordan, having a small particular non-fossil. It isn't a crinoid. It might be, some of you might know what a crinoid fossil is. It's kind of like an underwater lily or plant, seawater lily, but this isn't it. This is actual machined out parts similar to a rotor fan, a miniature rotor fan. There's a small engine right there. This is element 123, which is also in topoline. Topoline and element 123, they're very much heavier than uranium. They're island of stability elements. They're by the way, these pieces of metal I've purchased with my own money when I worked for the government. As they were test samples, they never bothered to pick them back up, nor did they pay me back for them, so they're my property.